Hey guys, and welcome into today's video. Let's jump straight into the charts. We're going to talk about ALPP. We're going to talk about a brand new stock that I have been loading up on recently, a stock that has massive potential to 5x over the coming decade, if not even more. So I'm going to be holding this one in my long-term portfolio. I had put out a buy for this stock in the Discord 4 months ago, guys, and this stock has run up significantly since then, up over 50% from its all-time lows. And again, we have been doing so well on the private Patreon, so if you would like to support the channel in any way, then be sure to go and check that out. And lastly, I want to quickly dive into NEO because people have been asking me in the comments with my opinion on the technicals for NEO and where we see this going over the next couple of weeks. So guys, if you are new, welcome inside. This is my channel. Make sure you are subscribed down below by clicking that big red subscribe button and also turning on the notification bell. And if you find value at any point, please don't forget to give this video a big fat like. It really does help out with the channel. So guys, I want to start today with Alpine 4 Holdings, ALPP, our channel favorite stock, because yesterday we can come onto the charts and have a look at what Alpine was doing. So guys, on the charts we can see that Alpine 4 Holdings yesterday rose over 9% almost on the day. It did actually curl back down from about 10% and it did touch that 50-day moving average. We've come back down to a nice sensible place now on the RSI on the daily chart, and you guys can see that we almost touched at $2.5, which is exactly where I said this stock was going to go after the Nasdaq. If you guys remember, once all the hype was up here at around $6, I said that this stock is going to go back down to $2.5. We were actually 6 cents off that estimate yesterday, and I did have a buy limit order set at that price. Unfortunately, it did not trigger because it was just 6 cents away. And again, if you're at work and you miss this, then you have to wait until this stock comes back down. So I'm looking to increase my position in Alpine. I do think that we still may see a tiny bit of selling if we have any negative news on the S&P 500 that will push obviously those high growth stocks down. So we could definitely see this come back down to 2.5, but again, that target was reached, and I'm very happy to say that those technicals did line up exactly how I had imagined. And again, that is due to the fact that there is so much strong support around this area. We can look back from the past, and you guys can see all of the areas that I have circled. Excuse me, let me turn my phone on silent. You can see that this is a place of major support where buyers start to flood back into the market. We get to a place where we are potentially overstretched on that RSI, where we are coming back down to the 30 level, and then we start to have those nice spikes up in volatility. Now we're going to have to wait and see, because now that we are on the Nasdaq, where this in fact wants to sit in the long term, because in the short term we have only been on the Nasdaq now for a few weeks, and we really need that to kind of play out so we can understand where this stock is going to move to, because right now we do not know. The amount of volume has increased, we can see on here, and again we did have some very positive earnings, but we need to get an idea now of where the next areas of support and resistance are now that we have new investors flooding into the market. And now that it is off the OTC market, we're not going to see as much volatility, in my opinion, where we see those massive push-ups in hype and again those kind of long spikes down. So hopefully now this will just kind of be a nice gradual support that we will find for Alpine around this level, where we can in fact load the boats around that $2.5 to $3 price range. And again, if we do have any further selling, then potentially this could be a nice place. But I do believe in the long term, guys, this stock is going to do extremely well. So this is a stock that I'm loading up and I'm talking about quite often on the Discord. We are watching this stock very, very closely. So if you would like, again, any access to what we are doing on the stock, or in fact, this is a stock that you absolutely love, then be sure to check out the private Patreon, because we have a ton of Alpine supporters and we have a fantastic channel community just dedicated to, of course, this stock. The second stock, guys, on the list today is, of course, Sofi Technologies, a stock that I have been talking about on my channel over the last 6 months, a stock that I am extremely bullish, and we can see that we have now touched up on this layer of resistance for the second time, guys, in the last 6 months. And I had in fact been putting this out as a buy in the Patreon below $18, as you can see up on the screen right now. And if we look at the lows, when this was back down around $12, I was screaming out that this was a buy, guys. Anyone that did manage to get in would have almost doubled their position 100% over the coming few months. That did happen, and we are now seeing a nice cooling off in this share price. So what do I expect to happen to Sofi Technologies over the next 12 months? Well, guys, this is a blockchain mobile bank wallet, and we know how enormous this opportunity is, especially for the new generation. Sofi are really pushing right now to target that younger generation, and they have just had their earnings released. If we come onto some news and some price targets, pre-markets, you guys are going to see that they had their earnings out on the 10th of November, which was just a week ago today almost, and their total product was up 108%, guys, and we had enormous growth of over 96%, 2.9 million users. So we can see that this company are really growing rapidly. They are targeting everything from student loans and onwards. We have analysts continuing to upgrade their price targets for Sofi Technologies, and you guys can see that we have an average price now of $26, and almost every single analyst, guys, is saying that this is a strong buy right now, with one analyst as a hold. We have a high of 30, but I do think that over the next 12 months, I have actually just released a new price prediction on Sofi. So again, if you would like access to any of those price predictions, then be sure to check out the link below to the private Patreon, and again, where we are in fact planning to load up on this stock. But this is a stock, guys, to definitely throw onto your radar, especially now with the recent cooling off. Again, this is a stock that I absolutely love for the long term. I do think that we are going to see this stock start to really trend upwards with some nice dynamics, and if we do have any weakness in the share price, then this is definitely going to be a stock, guys, like I said, to really watch out for on your watch list. So make sure that this one is in fact on your watch list. Guys, NIO is another stock right now that we are doing a lot of research on over at the Discord. I definitely specialize on electrical vehicles. It's something that I put a lot of my time and energy and research into, of course, on the space of YouTube. I do think that NIO have a lot of competition right now, and it is very clear that Tesla are the leader in EVs, and you have also Lucid Motors, which has run up enormously. Please be careful. I do think the valuation for Lucid has been stretched ridiculously far from hype, and I do think that anyone that is buying in at these levels is probably going to get burned over the next couple of weeks. I do think that once we have the next earnings call out, you know, we are in just the crisis of a massive chip shortage. Those numbers that they have in pre-orders are all well being said that they are good, but until they actually deliver on those deliveries, guys, you are going to see some big pullbacks again in that share price, especially if you have those bears chasing, you know, a bear market with inflation. I really don't think inflation is going to hit the market at all in the next 6 months, but what you have to remember is there's always going to be negative news to drive those prices down, so that those long-term investors and those massive hedge funds can get those stocks at a cheaper price. So please, if you are a retail investor, please be careful of those massive valuations. But NIO, like I said, around this area, I do think for the long term is going to be extremely good, because over the next 12 months I do have my price set on NIO for around that $60 price target. So again, that is some enormous upside of 50% from the current share price that it is today. So these are some stocks, guys, to throw on your radar. If you do not know much about NIO, then have a binge on my channel, because I have a ton of content on NIO that I have been covering over the last year. Again, we have to remember right now that they are in the Chinese market, and that is why there has been a lot of recent selling, because investors are scared to invest their capital, of course, in an emerging market, especially in China, because there's so many different laws. The government has a massive influence on stocks, and again, they had banned, you know, some things that had happened with Alibaba. So Alibaba had massively sold off as well. But this, guys, to me is a long-term opportunity again to take full advantage of. So I do think that at these prices, NIO is becoming very attractive again, especially if we do see any bleeding down to any lower supports in the mid-range 30s. Then again, loading the boat for the long term, I think that this is absolutely going to be fine. So that is what I'm doing right now with our NIO stock. I'm still holding my position. I have sold out of some of my position in NIO, and I have changed it to some of the other stocks that I had just talked about in this video, and again some other stocks that I have been buying on the Discord, especially one DNA sequencing stock that I did actually put out as a buy last month in the Discord, a new stock that I absolutely love that I will cover in a new video. And just because I know one of our Discord members has in fact been asking about an update on the Robinhood, did want to briefly just touch on this for 2 minutes. Again, Jax, this is for you. Now, if we look at the RSI, we can see that we are now at a place where it is overstretched and we are oversold. So I do expect a curl back up. As you can see in the pre-markets, we are up again just a few cents today on the day. So hopefully we will get some nice, you know, movement back up. I do think that Robinhood at these levels where it has in fact come onto IPO is going to find an area of support. If we come again onto the price predictions for Hood, we can also see that the price predictions are at $45 as an average. We have a high upside of $62, which I think is very unlikely after their earnings call, because they did have some bad earnings that did come out, but they are saying that they are trying to transition into crypto wallets. Once that does happen, they will be much more profitable, and I want to give you some sense of how ARK Invest are holding this very high up in a lot of their ETFs right now. ARK Invest hold this in about 2 or 3 of their ETFs, and they're holding this around position 15 and 13. They have millions and millions of shares, and their conviction in Robinhood, I think because of the crypto space and how people are moving into the crypto markets, that is where they see the long-term potential for Hood, obviously, as a stock. But Hood did lose some, obviously, of their business clients over this last quarter, which is not good to see for a growth company, which is why it has sold off. But again, as things sell off, that's when I always think there's opportunity in the market. So I have put a small position in here based on the ARK Invest research that they have been doing into the crypto space and how this stock long term could potentially turn around. We have some nice price targets on there. The technicals are showing that we are at a major point of support, as you can see, and again the RSI there is in fact overstretched. This is a short-term position for me. We could still see some bleeding, so again, if that does happen, I will just average down slowly over the coming months, but I don't think that we are going to see anything lower than around $28. If we did, I think I'd be surprised, and I think that a lot of long-term investors would then start to flood back in. We may see some consolidation for a couple of months before we in fact have any positive news to then repush this share price up. So that is what I'm doing with Hood. I hope that you guys did enjoy this video today. If you are someone that is new, then make sure that you are subscribed down below to this channel and community of investors. My name is Jason. I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and I look forward to seeing you back on my channel soon for some more content on investing. Ciao.